cold day like this, you got onto gym shoes. Say, where's that little dog left from you? What's the name? Dolly. Hello, Dolly. Well, hello, Dolly. You know, I bet you I know where she is. I bet she's home sleeping. That's what she's doing. That dog, I never saw a dog for so much sleeping. You know, she comes in here 2-3 times a day. She follows the people in and out. Then she goes outside, in the doorway, falls asleep. And the people, they can't get in or out. Oh, my, oh, my, oh, my, oh, my. Say, maybe Mommy has a little list for me. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you very much. Say, while you're waiting, what would you rather have? A nice stick of salami or maybe a nice little lollipop, huh? A lollipop? Have a lollipop. There you are, darling. Now, don't get it all over your face. Make yourself messy. Mommy wouldn't like that. Now, you wait right here, and I'll get the list prepared. Let's see what we got here. We got a pound from corned beef. We got a jar from gefilte fish. Some lox, and some bagels. You wait right here. I'll be right back. Okay. Hello, Dolly. Now we'll put the nice bread in the nice bag. And here you are, sweetheart, the bag from the groceries. Okay. Now listen very carefully. Don't worry about the money. We'll put it on Mommy's bill like we always do. And when you're going home, be very careful. Look both ways before you're crossing the street and say hello to Mommy and Daddy and pat the little dog live. What's her name? Dolly. Pat her on the head for me, but don't wake her up on 9 o'clock. Bye-bye, sweetheart. Bye-bye.
This is Barbara Mittledorf. She's 25 years old. She's mentally retarded. Barbara's brain was permanently damaged when she was very young. It severely crippled her mental development. At 25, she can barely read or write, and she cannot speak distinctly. She can improve her mind in some small way, but she will always remain at a very low level of intelligence. Barbara is not mentally ill. That's an emotional problem. She's mentally retarded, a physical problem affecting over 6 million people in the United States and over 240,000 in Michigan. 3 out of every 100 children born today will share Barbara's fate. Barbara's mother, Sarah, recalls the very beginning.
Barbara really didn't respond the same way that other children respond. When I used to wave bye-bye to her, somehow she never waved bye-bye back. And bye-bye became a very big thing. She couldn't pick her spoon up to eat. She couldn't pick herself up. She didn't walk until she was 3 years old. She never said a word we could really understand.
Mittledorfs believed Barbara's problems were caused by a series of whooping cough injections given her at 3 months. They sought medical help. One doctor threw them out of his office for wasting his time. Another told them they should just let the child grow.
I was really very upset about this most all the time. We would be invited to the birthday parties of the other children in our family. And when we brought our child, we would have to prop her up just to sit at the table. She couldn't do the things that the other children were doing, and so she became absolutely frustrated about the whole thing. And we used to have breakdown after breakdown, and I would become very embarrassed about this. And when I'd come home, I'd sit there and cry. Why couldn't my child be just like other children, and where had we personally failed? And my husband used to say to me, after all, let's not be embarrassed about this child. What else can we do? This is our child. All we can do is help this child, help her to perhaps learn the things that other children pick up just naturally. And so we tried in vain to teach her these things, but it just couldn't happen like that. We'd go to party after party. People were nice to us. People would feel sorry for us, but after all, pity is a difficult thing to accept.
Finally, Detroit's Children's Center tested Barbara and found her to be mentally retarded for life.
My first reaction was to want to help my child, to do something for her, to train her so that she could do something and be a responsible individual.
So Barbara's parents teach her skills, and they teach Barbara family responsibility. She often buys groceries at the neighborhood delicatessen, warms prepared dishes, sets the table for supper, and takes care of her dog, Dolly. Barbara's parents sent her away to school for a while, but they soon brought her home. They learned that she feels most secure at home, where she is loved, and in the community where she can find friends.
When she graduated school, she went to the sheltered workshop of the Detroit Association for Retarded Children. The DARC was the first place that Barbara found friends.
In the workshop, Barbara and her friends meet 5 days a week to price shopping tags, construct flowers, or assemble electrical connectors for local contractors.
It is almost impossible to conceive that work is so important to her. The fact that she is able to accomplish something of her own and have her own spending money is a thing that has developed her more than anything else.
If the Detroit Association gives Barbara the dignity of vocation, the Jewish Center gives her the joy of recreation and the pleasure of social activity. Barbara spends much of her time here with the Israel girls, young women aged 16 to 30, who are mildly to moderately retarded. They are supervised by 4 special staff members of the Jewish Center. Together, they learn Israeli dances, make decorative flowers, swim, and travel on excursions around Detroit and to other cities. Their class in sex education puts them in one of the most progressive groups in the country. Parents Association for Jewish Residential Care has seen to it that other members of this program share experiences similar to Barbara's. The Israel boys often take advantage of the center's athletic facilities. Their social progress is about as impressive as their progress in athletics. Few of them could hold a baseball bat just a few years ago. The Detroiters, older retardates, aged 30 to 60, develop their skills in the wood shop. Ralph Levy, shop teacher and vocational rehabilitation counselor at a nearby home for the retarded, comments about the Jewish Center program for Barbara and her friends.
To go out into the community is difficult because there's more rejection than there is acceptance, whereas they can come here and they have the run of the building. What this 2 hours once a week represents is not the total answer, but certainly without this kind of experience, they don't have a social life.
One day, Barbara came flying through the door from an evening at the Jewish Community Center to tell me she was vice president of her group. And she spent so much time saying, "Will the meeting please come to order?" It took almost a half hour to get the words in sequence, but at the end came out, "Will the meeting please come to order?" That really inflated her ego that day. She felt like a master among her fellow men. Adonai, Eloheinu, melech haolam, asher kiddushonu b'mitzvoto, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat b'Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min ha'aretz. Okay, the message.
Home is Barbara's refuge and her hope. The skills she learns at the workshop and the friends she makes at the Jewish Center can only continue if she has a family to return to and a home to protect her. What would happen to Barbara if she had no home? What will happen to her when her parents are no longer able to provide for her? Must she leave the community in which she has finally found a place? Without a home, where will she go? This is Yetta Schneider. She's 49 years old. She's mentally retarded. She does not live at home. She lives in Lapeer State Home and Training School in Lapeer, Michigan. Yetta has been here since 1928. She has had 2 visitors in the last 15 years. Lapeer State Home opened in 1895 to house the mentally retarded. It beds 3,300 residents. It covers over 200 acres of land. It is located over 40 miles from Detroit. Lapeer has its own hospital and its own school. The grounds, power units, and dormitories are to some extent cared for by the residents themselves. Yetta shares her dormitory with 82 other women, all mildly and moderately retarded. They are looked after by 3 nurses, each trained at Lapeer. One of them is Mrs. Engelberg, the supervisory nurse in Yetta's building.
Yetta has been in Lapeer State Home for 42 years, and she's now 49 years old. And this time she's attended school here, and she's learned to read and write, and she works in the clothes room. She can read the names, remember the clothing that belongs to each resident, and she helps them to dress, to put together the proper wardrobe, and to get them ready when they're going somewhere. She hangs the clothes on the rack in alphabetical order, folds the clothes neatly, and sorts clothes from the baskets. She's very fond of her job. She has done this job for, I would say about 10 years now. The same job. And the clothes, I climb way up high, leave the clothes off and put them away, put the clothes away and sort them. Rolls down here.
Yetta can read, write, and remember. So she performs other jobs for her fellow residents, most of whom can neither read, nor write, nor remember. Yetta's memory is her most cherished possession. She loves to recite poetry. She does it all the time, spontaneously, almost to the point of obsession.
Battered truth must always wear a somewhat tired, haggard air, and view of with the things of pity, lie can look so smooth and pretty. My God, the soul which thou hast given unto me came pure from thee. Thou hast created it, thou hast formed it, thou hast breathed into me. Thou hast preserved it in this body in its appointed time. Thou wilt take it from this earth, to image upon life everlasting. October came to town one day, dressed up in green and red, with shining leaves and golden rods about her pretty head. She danced upon her carpet spread with leaves of every hue. Oh, nature smiled as she looked up and said, how do you do?
Yetta's many skills tell us that she has grown at Lapeer and could grow even more if she had the opportunity. But with schooling behind her and only her laundry job to keep her occupied, does she have the opportunity to grow?
There's a car, there's a grass, there's a little girl got a little feather in her hair, there's a tree, and there's the flowers. I wrote by Yetta Snyder.
Yetta, what TV program did you see the other day that you liked so much?
Hee-haw.
What was it about?
I seen a donkey dance, and a pig dance, and they sang, and some of the people sang songs. It was like a Western movie.
And did you watch a lot of television?
Yeah.
Do you have some other favorite programs?
No. I like Mr. Mira and the Ghost.
Why do you like that?
It's kind of silly sometimes. I don't watch it every week. Once in a while we watch it.
Does it make you laugh?
Yeah.
Watching football. I never do. These are pampers. So,
I don't think there's any question but that institutionalization by itself can only cause people to regress.
Ralph Levy, staff member at another state institution for the retarded.
It doesn't mean that it's an evil institution. It doesn't mean that it's a bad institution. It simply means that the needs of institutions are such that they deprive people of their own individuality, their own need to be independent. Because to succeed in an institution, you have to be dependent upon the institution.
people do without homegrown coffee. Before long, homegrown taste is forgotten.
I'm always chasing rainbows, watching clouds drifting by. My schemes are just like all my dreams, ending in the sky. Some fellows look and find the sunshine, but I look and find the rain. Some fellows make a winning sometimes, so even though I make a game, believe me, I'm always chasing rainbows, waiting for a little bluebird in pain. There's a little
water. Little white dog doing what he oughter. He snapped at a frog and a lily pad, flapped his wings and he said, I'm glad. I'm a little white dog sitting in the water, quack, quack, quack.
Dr. Abruzzo, director of Lapeer State Home.
We'd like to think of Lapeer as just one phase of the cycle that is going on here. Once we train them, we would like to know that there is some place for them to be placed outside of the Lapeer community, that it is not a dead-end type of a situation as it has been thought of to be in the past.
Until the community is willing to make a place for Yetta, Lapeer must remain a dead end for her. Here she has been, here she lives, here she must stay.
Shemaya Sarah, Adonai, Eloheinu, Adonai, Baruch Shem Kavod, Mahuso, Leolam Boeh. We have a nice bed to sleep in. We have food to eat in the dining room. I like it here, but I like to leave sometime. I like to get out, outside the world. Get out in the outside.
Will Yetta get to the outside, or will Barbara end up where Yetta is now? There are over 2,000 Jewish mental retards in Michigan like Yetta and Barbara. Where will they go?